Hey everybody, it's Carrie. Welcome to Chicago. I love this area down here by the river. Anyway, I'm reaching out to everybody because I did a deep dive. I was wondering why it seemed like nobody had tapped into the market, the tattoo market on the collagen. And so I kind of told Doyle and Marissa I was going to go and look into that. And so I did. I did a lot of research on it here in the past few weeks. Kind of burnt out. I'm going to step away for a little bit. But I also want to thank Callie and Andrew and Stephanie for their help and their suggestions and their input. But I went in and I did some deep dives. And I'm going to put something together, do a script for really where I want to take all of this, and I want to be able to put some information out to you guys, which I think might help everyone in reaching out to the tattoo market, the tattoo industry. Now, I'm not talking about like the ones that buy just a smaller tattoo. And I want you to focus on the word buy for a minute, because I'm going to come back to that. But especially the ones that are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on tattoos. I'm going to come back to that too. In any event, the collagen is actually in the second layer of skin, and it is where the ink is held in a tattoo. It's what makes it permanent. We lose 50% of that collagen by the time we're 50. Those of us over 50, we've lost a little bit more, but essentially we lose between 1 and 1.5% per year after the age of 30. In that layer is not only where the ink is held, but it's also where the hair follicles are, the sebaceous glands, hence the glow when people are taking. Love the train, what can I tell ya? Love it. Anyway, the sebaceous glands, the hair follicles, again, that's why when that matrix gets rebuilt and you're hydrating that with that collagen, it's one of the reasons why the hair comes back shinier, the skin comes back glowing, because the sebaceous glands, all of that is getting rehydrated. It's also where the nerve endings are, blood vessels, things like that. So that's one of the areas I want to tap into, because when you lose that 50%, you're losing that matrix, and that's the area that holds the ink. How much ink is really being held in that area when you're getting tattooed? And when you're spending a lot of money on that area, on those tattoos, they have to be redone. It's kind of a waste of money, actually, if it's not enough collagen in there to hold the ink. Now, I brought up about buying. This is where I want to take people in the end, and so I want to frame the script around this, is they're buying. When I asked on my Facebook page about people who had tattoos, I didn't say gotten, who had tattoos, one of the words they have is I got. And when I ask people about tattoos, they say I got. Well, it's almost like going to get a beer, going to get a tissue, I get my shoes from the other room. It doesn't seem to me that it means as much to them as they say it does when they bought it. So I want to kind of change the thinking a little bit with this as well, to up-level the canvas. Again, goes back to the art of wellness. It's one of the videos that I use to sign off of my emails, is the art of wellness. And that the isogenic says that the body is its canvas. So I want to change the thinking to it's not something that they get, it's something that they buy. And not only that, if they're buying continuous tattoos, they become an investor, and then they become a collector. You get $25,000 worth of art on your body. It's not something that you got, it's something you've invested in. So you become a collector. So I want to raise that mindset. Also, that they are commissioning a tattoo artist. A tattoo artist is like filmmakers. They're a freaking dime a dozen. And filmmakers say that about actors too. I know, I've heard it. But they're either going to be just another tattoo artist, or they're going to be a commissioned artist. A commissioned tattoo artist. Elevates the whole thing. Now, over the course of centuries, the first tattoo, the guy that they just found in a glacier is like 5,000 years old. The art of tattooing has changed, and the pain level, I'm sure, has changed. The tools, I know, absolutely have changed, but they haven't really talked about the canvas, how taking care, prepping, and maintaining the canvas afterwards hasn't really changed. Well, it has changed over thousands of years, but it's more topical, and it doesn't get deep enough into that dermal layer unless you're going to hydrate it from within. So it's one of the things I want to tap into. Now, along with that, so there's the collagen. Along with that is the cleanse. Now, I read an article where a woman's doctor had thought she'd had a tumor in her lymph node. It turns out it actually was not a tumor. It was the ink from the tattoos she'd gotten, and it rested in the lymph nodes. When the whole tattoo process is a medical procedure, white blood cells will go in there and start attacking the ink because it's a foreign body. Those white blood cells only last 1 to 3 days. When they die off, there's another white blood cells that comes in and takes over that ink, but it doesn't take all of it over, because there's a period of time where the one dies, the other one comes in, that some of that ink gets burst into nanoparticles and goes out into the body. That's where the cleanse for life can come in, and it's a gentle cleanse, and it's a cellular cleanse. You can pull those toxins out, or help to pull those toxins out. Something that should be done really on the daily instead of just 2 days, like we do for weight loss. That's that. Talked also about nutrition. Dense nutrition is what they talked about. Hello, shakes. I personally would subscribe to the whole blend because of the vitamins, because you're getting the whole blend, the whole vitamin complex. Okay, makeup, the 6 vitamins from the B6 and the 12 and the B12 and yada yada yada. So I would push for the whole blend. The ionics, because of the mineral, and something Dr. Plant I saw on Instagram today, he talked about the mineral content. Because of the mineral content in the ionics, and the ashwagandha also be great for healing as well as stress relief, because when you're sitting there for hours getting a tattoo, you're putting your body through a lot of stress. Now, one of the things that Andrew says is that before he goes in for a tattoo, he does the adaptogen elixir. Perfect. Side note, I do the adaptogen elixir before a Reiki and sound bath session. Totally awesome experience. But I've digressed. So those are some of the topics I want to hit on. And I also want to be able to, again, change the mindset, elevate the role of the canvas, and that the person getting the tattoo is actually a buyer and a collector and investor. Buyer, investor, collector of art, of tattoo art, and that they are in fact commissioning an artist. So it elevates the whole thing, which should hopefully make it a much easier sell for the collagen and the cleanse and the dense nutrition. And because, again, I'm not really targeting somebody that just goes in for 1 or 2 tattoos, although it would be great if they could take care of their body, their canvas, and think of it as a linen canvas, which is what the artists, the painters want. Really, that's their, when I looked into it, their premium canvas would be linen, and they want it as taut as possible. Well, the same goes for the body. And so I want them to start thinking along those lines. And that more where I'm gearing this towards is for those who are the investors and collectors, because they're going to be long-term clients. They're going to want to keep that canvas taut. They're going to want to maintain the art and allow for as much ink to be held into the dermal layer as possible, so that their tattoo is more permanent. So that's kind of where I'm going at. I'm going to put this together probably next week in a much more cohesive way, and then I would love to be able to do Zooms so that, like you guys were doing for their hair and nails, it's to me is like, I can't relate on that level, but I can on this level. Also, I don't have any tattoos, but now I have it in my head that I'm going to at least start working towards that direction. But I want to make sure that I'm going for someone who understands that they are being commissioned and that I am a buyer of a piece of art. And so I want to make sure that my canvas is actually prepared for that. So, and to be able to maintain that art. And Chicago is going to be part of that. How do you not put that? I love it. These bridges, everything. How do you not put that on your body? I mean, it's fantastic. It's a beautiful city. Just the city part of it. Look at that. Another one of these L trains coming through. I'd put that on my body. So that's kind of where I'm coming at. I would love any questions you guys have, any input that you have. Please send them my way. Probably won't do the Zoom out here by the L, but send me any questions you have so I can address them. Any concerns that you might have. But also I'm asking for anybody who has tattoos, if you have pictures of those tattoos prior to when you started using collagen and then after you started using collagen. Not the newer tattoos, but the older tattoos. I'm curious to see if it made it more vibrant, if it showed that the difference between where maybe there were some gaps in the tattoo because maybe the ink wasn't being held in that dermal layer. So did you have to get anything refilled? And so that's kind of where I'm at. So I'd love some input from you guys. Any questions, any concerns? Do you have an interest in doing this? I'm going to be putting it up someplace. And there's I'll also be breaking this down. I've been being coached. I'm coaching with Jessie Lee's accelerated program, and she's talked about Vidya AI, so I can break this stuff down too into smaller clips that then can be shared as well. So anyway, that's it. I also have one for seniors, but right now I'm focused on the tattoos. But the one for seniors, I would love to be able, for those of you who are working with seniors, 40 years of PT experience. I also did some training with a friend of mine's mom down in Florida, and we did videos, and she's fine with me sharing those videos. So we can use some of those just for kind of tapping into the seniors. I happen to know, having been in their homes, what they eat, what they don't eat, how much they eat, and how many canisters of just plain protein powder I've seen on top of the fridge that were half emptied and were outdated. So, but they weren't meal replacements. Big difference between the two. But anyway, this focus is on tattoos. So let me know what you think, and questions, concerns, whatnot. So hope you have a great day. Chicago's leading lady coming up. Kind of a cool city, really. All right, you guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks for listening. Until the next one. Bye-bye.